my husband started locking the bathroom door. And that's when I knew something was wrong. Not because he locked it, but because he never did before. We've been married for 6 years. Same routine, same habits, same everything. He leaves doors open. Always. Bathroom, bedroom, closet. It used to annoy me. And then it stopped. At first, I didn't think much of it. People change. Habits change. That's normal. But this wasn't just once. It was every time. Every single time he went into the bathroom, the door locked. Click. Every time. And the way he did it, that's what bothered me. Not casually. Not automatically. Deliberately. Like he needed to make sure it was locked. I asked him about it once, just casually. Why do you lock the door now? He laughed, said, I just got used to it. That was it. No explanation, no hesitation. But something about it didn't feel right. Because people don't suddenly change habits like that. Not overnight. And definitely not without a reason. So I started paying attention. Not in an obvious way. Just watching. Listening. Waiting. At first, I told myself I was overthinking. It's just a door. People lock doors. That's normal. But the problem wasn't the door. It was everything around it. Because once you notice something, you start noticing more. And I did. The timing. He didn't just go in randomly. It was always the same. Late evening. Right before bed. Like it was part of a routine I wasn't included in. And the way he walked in, that changed too. Before, he would just go. Now, he'd check his phone first. Every time. Stand there for a second. Look at the screen. Then go in. Lock. Click. That sound started to get to me. Because once you hear it, you wait for what comes next. But nothing ever did. Just silence. So one night, I decided to test it. Not confront him. Not ask questions. Just see. I waited. I didn't sleep that night. Not really. I just lay there, staring at the ceiling, listening, waiting for something. Anything. But nothing happened. At least, not that I could hear. And somehow, that made it worse. Because now I knew I wasn't imagining it. There was something going on. Something I wasn't supposed to know. And once that thought gets in your head, it doesn't leave. The next day, everything felt normal again. Too normal. He acted the same. Made breakfast. Talked to me. Smiled. like nothing had changed. Like last night never happened. And I watched him. Not in an obvious way, just enough to notice. And that's when I realized something else. He wasn't nervous. That smile stayed with me longer than it should have, because it didn't match. Nothing about that moment matched. The locked door, the voices, the silence. And then, him walking out. Like everything was normal. It didn't fit. And once something doesn't fit, you can't unsee it. That night, I didn't wait for him. I made the move first. I told him I was going to shower. He didn't react, didn't question it, just nodded, went back to his phone. That alone felt strange, because normally he'd say something. A joke, a comment, anything. But this time, nothing. And that told me everything. He wasn't paying attention to me. He was waiting for something else. I walked into the bathroom, closed the door, but I didn't lock it. I turned the shower on, just enough to... I didn't go back to the couch. I didn't pretend this time, because something had changed. The moment I heard my name, everything became real. This wasn't just strange behavior anymore. This was about me. And whatever was happening behind that door, I was part of it. I stood there, looking at the handle, thinking, not panicking, just deciding. Because once you open that door, there's no going back. You either find nothing or you find everything. And I knew I wasn't ready for either. But I still reached for it. Slowly, carefully. My hand wrapped around the handle. And for a second, I just stood there, listening. His voice, lower now, more controlled, like he knew someone might be close. The second voice, still there, still quiet. I didn't confront him. Not that night. Because I knew one thing for sure. If I did it wrong, I'd lose my chance. And whatever was happening, I needed to understand it first. So I waited. Acted normal. Talked to him. Ate dinner. Watched TV. Even laughed. Like nothing had changed. But inside, everything was different. Because now, I wasn't guessing anymore. I was watching. Every move. Every word. And the more I watched, the more I noticed. He checked his phone more. Paused before answering me. Sometimes looked at me like he was thinking. Like he was measuring something. And that feeling, it didn't go away. It got stronger. So the next night, I changed the plan. I didn't wait for him. I didn't follow him. I went in first, before he even had the chance. I walked straight into the bathroom, closed the door, and this time, I locked it. Click. For the first time, I controlled that sound. I stood there, listening, waiting. And within seconds, I heard it. Footsteps. Fast. Closer than before. Then, the handle. I didn't answer. I couldn't. Because the moment I heard that voice, something inside me just stopped. She knows. Not surprised. Not confused. Certain. Like they were expecting this. Like it was always going to happen this way. I stared at the phone. My hand was shaking now. Not slightly. Noticeably. Because this wasn't just strange anymore. This wasn't just secretive. This was controlled. Planned. And I was already inside it. The voice came again. Lower this time. Put it back. I didn't move. Didn't even breathe. Because that meant one thing. They weren't guessing. They knew
He didn't ask anything else. And that was worse than if he did. Because if he questioned me, I could answer. If he accused me, I could deny it. But he didn't. He just looked at me for a second too long, then stepped back. Next time, he said quietly, "Don't lock it," and walked out. Just like that. Like the moment never happened. But it did. And we both knew it. I stood there alone again. The same room. The same walls. But everything felt different now. Because I finally understood something. This wasn't something he started. This was something he was following. And that meant there were rules. Rules I didn't know. Rules he couldn't explain. I didn't sleep. Not that night. I just lay there, staring into the dark, holding my phone, reading the same message over and over again. You need to follow instructions. Instructions. That word stayed with me because it meant one thing. This wasn't chaos. It wasn't random. It was controlled. And I had already stepped into it. The next morning, everything looked normal again. Sunlight, kitchen, coffee. He acted the same. Calm, quiet, almost too calm. Like nothing had happened. Like the night before didn't exist. And I played along. Because now, I understood something. If I acted different, they would know. If I reacted, they would adjust. So I didn't. I followed the pattern. Breakfast, conversation, silence. Everything exactly how it was before. Until the moment came. That same time. That same routine. He stood up, picked up his phone, paused, looked at the screen, and then walked toward the bathroom. But this time, I didn't wait. I didn't follow. I stayed where I was and listened. The door closed.